Hello and welcome to the Universe of 82M. This is my North Western Railway Fleet Carriage Construction series. In this episode, we're going to look at North Western Railway's number 45, Monty. The largest and most powerful steam locomotive built in the United Kingdom. Monty is the Gresley U1 Garrett. Built at Bay Peacock's Gorton Works in Manchester in 1925, Monty was designed to work as a banker on the Worsborough Incline, and for the first part of his working life, the Garrett performed this task without fuss. However, there were some teething troubles for the young engine. Due to his sheer size and power, other engines and crews began referring to Monty as the Monster. This affected his confidence and eventually began affecting his work. What also wasn't helping the Garrett was the steaming troubles he was having under coal firing. At first, Monty was trialled on Welsh coal, and while this did slightly improve his performance, it wasn't the major performance improvement that they expected. Monty began to feel miserable as he was supposed to be performing his task with maximum efficiency. In 1927, Monty suffered his first fatal injury. His firebox cracked, which was due to corrosion from soft water. This was repaired, but in 1928 more corrosion emerged in his boiler tubes, which was treated by use of a chemical solution. For the next 21 years, Monty worked himself hard until 1949 when he would need a new boiler. The managers were reluctant to authorise the expenses for Monty's new boiler, as the line he worked on had plans to become electrified. However, fate would have another idea. When Monty was taken back to his birthplace, the Garrett would meet an apprentice who was actually a young Lord Durez. The apprentice was amazed at Monty's sheer size and had been fascinated with Garrett locomotives from his time under the tutelage of Mr. Herbert William Garrett. With his newfound knowledge, Lord Durez and a team of workers at Bay Peacock began overhauling and modifying the U1. Monty would be converted to oil burning and fitted with special tubes that could work with both hard and soft water, as well as receiving a bespoke electronic headlamp. These modifications vastly improved Monty's performance, and the Garrett was eternally grateful to Lord Durez and the workmen for believing in him and giving him a new lease on life. With this new lease on life, Monty was sent to the Lickey Incline to work alongside Big Bertha. While at Lickey, Monty and Bertha would develop a great friendship, often exchanging humorous remarks to each other and betting who would be called upon to bank the most in a day. On one day, both bankers were called upon to assist a massive train over 137.7 gradient. The two laughed about how between them they had 10 cylinders working on a monster-sized train. In 1954, Monty was sent back to his old stomping ground, only to discover that he was now surplus to requirement, as the line was now run by a fleet of electric locomotives and diesels. To Garrett's despair, he was taken back to Bay Peacock and shunted onto a siding at the back of the works. He would remain there until his salvation in 1959. By this time, Lord Durez was now the manager of the Durez Vale line and had already saved Bertha from the cutter's torch and was now the owner of her over on his line. It was only after a conversation between Lord Durez, Bertha and Kratos that Lord Durez learned of Monty still being around, as there had been rumours that he had been scrapped. Following this revelation, Lord Durez and Kratos set out for Manchester in search of the U1. Upon arrival at the now derelict works of Bay Peacock, Lord Durez soon found Monty sitting in a siding at the back of the yards. When the Garrett saw the man who had given him his second lease on life, Monty broke down into tears at the sight of his old friend. Lord Durez was equally relieved to see the mighty Garrett again, and decided to purchase him and bring him back where he would be reunited with Bertha and also form a new friendship with Kratos. Monty worked happily under Lord Durez until 1975. Over and beyond Sodor, the new container terminal at Norranby was now complete and had begun operating services. However, the trains were too heavy for Rob to manage on his own. Even with the occasional assistance from Perkins, the two engines were struggling to haul the giant trains. The Flight Controller was struggling to meet the targets set by the clients over on the mainland and needed a powerful locomotive to run the container traffic. At the end of 1974, Lord Durez was visiting the Flight Controller for Christmas, and in the new year, the Flight Controller was offered the partial ownership of Monty to operate container trains, which also formed a new contract between the North Western Railway and the Durez Vale. The Flight Controller agreed to this and became co-owner of Monty with Lord Durez. Monty became the North Western Railway's 45th locomotive in February 1975. I hope you like my take on Monty, and I shall see you in the next video series where we look at the pre-grouping companies of the North Western Railway. Feel free to voice your opinions in the comments below, and please like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. See you next time.